family of a young woman killed by sharks while snorkeling in the Bahamas.
This morning, a California family still in shock.
A heartbreaking situation. As you said, this young woman was with her family at the time of the attack.
There's heavy blood loss to improvised tourniquet.
When you're being ripped apart by a shark, all you can think about is how to break free. But for 21-year-old Jordan Lindsey, even that was impossible. Jordan was being mauled left, right, and center by a shark. It had already been off her arm, and all that remained was a bloody stump desperately trying to move along with her other hand to get out of the water. Panic and fear gripped her entire being, as the thought of her upcoming death slowly crept in. Still, she screamed and thrashed around with all her might, attempting the impossible. She now seemed in a daze. Was this really happening? For Jordan's mom, the morning of June 26, 2019 was a nightmare. Little did she realize the baby girl whom she held in her arms 21 years ago would now be clinging to her last breath as she struggled to live. She will never forget the shark attack that took her daughter's life. It was a nightmare which still haunts her, as she still sees her daughter drowning in a pool of blood. For 21-year-old Jordan Lindsey and her family, it was supposed to be a beautiful summer getaway to the Bahamas. Jordan was fresh out of college from Marymount University in California, and a vacation was well-deserved. The Bahamas, in the West Indies, is one of the top vacation spots for tourists worldwide, and that's where Jordan wanted to go. It was a family vacation which included her parents, 2 brothers, and girlfriend, Gianna. The family was having a great time, and it was on day 3 that they decided to make an excursion to Rose Island. Jordan Lindsey and her mom, Cammie, were snorkeling on part of the island, while her dad, Mike, and her brothers and girlfriend, Gianna, was swimming on the beach. Several other tourists were in the area, but somehow, Cammie and Jordan got separated from the crowd. Cammie knew they were in a secluded spot, so she trusted that she wasn't too far from Jordan. Jordan and Cammie were just a little distance away from each other when Jordan suddenly yelled out, "Mom!" Cammie looked back, and it didn't strike her that Jordan had just screamed for help. Looking at the large shapes swimming around her, Cammie thought it was dolphins. She soon realized, however, that they weren't dolphins. They were instead sharks. By now, Jordan was screaming. She was being attacked. Cammie knew then that her daughter was screaming out for her life. Jordan was surrounded by 3 large tiger sharks and was in full panic mode. Her erratic and frightened actions were being read by the sharks, who sensed fear and knew that it would be an easy kill. Now the tiger sharks are called dumpsters of the sea and will eat just about anything. Although sharks rarely attack humans, the tiger shark is responsible for several fatal shark attacks that occur. They have often been found hovering in shallow reefs, harbors, and canals, creating a situation of possible encounters. Jordan seemed to be the perfect victim. Even as she struggled to get away, one shark latched onto her arm, tearing it right off. Seeing the water filled with blood, the other sharks took their cue and soon zeroed in on Jordan to finish her off. On the other hand, Jordan knew she was in terrible danger. Her life was at stake. She just had to swim, even if it meant swimming with one arm. Cammie screamed to Jordan to try and swim towards her. Using every ounce of energy, Jordan swam towards Cammie. Had Cammie not been there, Jordan would have been ripped to pieces. It would have been a terrifying and painful way to go. By now, the sharks were all taking bites off Jordan on various parts of her body. Cammie managed to get a hold of Jordan and tried swimming desperately with her daughter in her arms. Jordan then faintly told Cammie, "Mom, another shark is coming." It was the last time Cammie would hear her daughter speak, even as another shark hit them head-on with full force. The shark took a huge bite of Jordan's lower leg, ripping it right off. By now, Cammie was desperate and began fighting off the sharks. A brave Cammie began to punch them in the nose even as she tried to hold on to Jordan. She just had to save her daughter and finally reached the shore. Cammie dragged an unconscious Jordan onto the beach, but no medical attention was available. By now, word had already got out about a shark attack, which meant a boat would be arriving soon to take Jordan to the mainland. All the while, Michael, the boys, and Gianna were busy petting pigs and enjoying themselves, unaware of the tragedy unfolding. When Michael heard the commotion that a shark had attacked someone, a sudden bout of fear gripped him. He knew that Jordan and Cammie were snorkeling. What if it was one of them? Michael then ran to where they were supposed to be, and his worst fears were confirmed. He found Cammy with Jordan almost lifeless, lying on the beach. Jordan was losing consciousness. She was desperately clinging to life. The boat finally arrived, but unfortunately it had no medical supplies. People placed towels over Jordan's leg and carried her to the boat. Jordan needed immediate medical help because of the severity of her injuries. The sharks had torn off her right arm. She was bitten in several places, on her left arm, legs, and buttocks. Jordan's lower leg had been ripped away. The boat rushed Jordan to the dock where an ambulance was waiting. Jordan and Cammy were rushed to the hospital, but unfortunately, it was too late. The doctors took one look at her and pronounced her dead. Michael recalls reaching the hospital soon afterwards. As he walked in and asked the receptionist about Jordan, he was given the sad news: "Your daughter's gone." For the Lindsey family, things have never been the same. Cammy especially suffered nightmares of the incident. After all, she experienced what no mother should, and that was for her daughter to die in her arms. Speaking in an interview recalling the dreadful experience, Michael said, "We cry every night still, and Cammy she doesn't like the nights. Because when she closes her eyes, she's back in that water again. She's seen all the blood. She has seen her poor daughter die in her arms." The shark attack on Jordan Lindsey shook the world. It was a tragedy no one expected, least of all in a popular tourist spot such as the Bahamas. The Lindsey family opened up to the media, hoping steps would be initiated to prevent such attacks in the future. The Sandy Toes Company, who organized the tour for the Lindsey family, tried doing everything to make the trip safer, but nothing doing, the sharks would attack again. 3 years after the ferocious attack on Jordan Lindsey, Caroline DePlacio, age 58, would find herself in a similar situation. When the shark struck, Caroline of Erie, Pennsylvania, was snorkeling with her family in an idyllic bay in the Bahamas. Caroline was swimming just a mile away from where Jordan Lindsey was attacked. This time it was not a tiger shark, but a bull shark that attacked Caroline. Now, bull sharks, by comparison, are much more aggressive than tiger sharks. Bull sharks are even more dangerous than the great white shark and are unpredictable creatures who only know how to kill. Their short, blunt noses and thick bodies are weapons that pulverize prey before they decide to bite. Caroline did not stand a chance as a bull shark rammed into her. There was little her family could do as they watched in horror the gruesome scene of their mother being attacked. They tried fighting off the shark, but it was too aggressive and too strong. Caroline was bitten severely on the left side of her body. A huge part of her torso was chewed off, and when she came ashore, it didn't look like she would make it. Her daughter, a nurse, pleaded for medical assistance, but even as first responders performed CPR, Caroline succumbed to her injuries. The dream vacation of the DePlacio family had ended in tragedy. Reacting to the tragedy, Cammy Lindsey said, "It makes me feel frustrated and a little angry that that's happened again only 3 years later." That statement echoed the voice of thousands of potential tourists to the Bahamas. Something needed to be done, but what? Perhaps the only possible prevention is for tourists to be aware of shark behavior. The experts say when you're snorkeling or surfing, you must always be aware of your surroundings. Moreover, get out of the water even if you get a hint of sharks. The trick is to not panic and stay as calm as possible, because thrashing around the water will only attract more sharks to you. According to the International Shark Attack File, the odds of being killed by a shark are rare, less than 1 in 4 million. Who wants to be that 1 in 4 million? Certainly not us. What do you think? Should the authorities take stronger measures to make the Bahamas safer? Or is the onus upon tourists to know the potential risk of swimming in shark-infested territories?